Blessings, guys. Welcome to my page and my channel. Alex Angela with you today, and we are going to be doing readings for the feelings, emotions, and the intentions of your beloved person. So, for this case, of course, I'm going to offer you to choose one of the three cards over here, three piles that I'm going to be using for this reading. I would like you at this point to concentrate and focus on your beloved person. Think about them. Imagine them very well in front of your eyes. So I'm shuffling and cutting the cards into three piles. The first one, we're going to put the amethyst stone. The second one, we're going to put the agate stone. And the third one, we're going to put the skull. So what I want you right now to focus on your beloved person and choose one of these crystals, thinking about your person. Now, for those of you who decided to go with the first amethyst stone, we're going to be doing readings with this pile. So I want you to concentrate on your beloved person, as I said once again. Meanwhile, I'm shuffling the cards. So let's see their intentions, thoughts, and feelings about you. The first card is about their thoughts and describing you, their thoughts, and their deep conscious thinking about you and your current situation. The second card here is showing us their feelings towards you, their emotional state. And the third card is showing us basically what is their subconscious and intentions. As we can see in the spread, all the cards came out upside down. So it gives me the kind of a feeling that the person that you're thinking about, you may not be quite in touch with them, or you would like this communication to go better, because obviously there might be some sort of blockages, or there might be some sort of kind of distance or misunderstanding in terms of the communication right now. So what this card is clearly telling us is that in their thoughts, they kind of have some sort of interest towards you, but they don't know whether they should be taking the action in order to somehow make it work or make it improve. If you're in a relationship already, if you're not in the relationship, the person might be thinking about whether it's worth taking the step forward with this communication, with this contract, to see if it's going to be worth it or not. They're not quite sure about their decision yet, but at the same time, they don't feel like they're kind of afraid of some sort of rejection, I would say here. And this card is clearly showing us the energy of a fear of rejection, or not everything to be going the way that they want. And also in terms of the communication, as I told you, when it comes to their thoughts, they're not quite sure that this step will actually bring them what you want, what they want, or what you want. So there might be quite hesitation, I would say. The next card is definitely and clearly showing us the feelings and the emotions of the person towards you. Again, as we can see, the card is upside down, but the card itself is a very positive card, the Wheel of Fortune. So even in an upside down position, it doesn't really necessarily mean anything bad, but what it's saying is that, again, the person might be stuck in their own emotions, and that's exactly why he might be hesitant, or she might be hesitant to make the steps towards you, because this kind of stuckness is coming from their emotional state. And again, as we can see, the Wheel of the Fortune is a wheel card, so it is not quite stable. So one day he might feel like he is drawn to you very much, and that's why in his thoughts, he would like to take the first steps towards you. On the other hand, he is, because of the indecisiveness in his emotions, he doesn't exactly, or she doesn't exactly know whether this is really going to work out, or this will be something worthy of this contract of yours. But there's feelings definitely may not be that stable, but still there is some sort of interest is definitely shown towards you. And the next card and the third card, which is basically their intentions towards you and their subconscious. And here, as we can see, the card is upside down position as well. So they might be planning to kind of make the first step at some point, even though they're afraid of the rejection, but they're not quite sure whether this step should be taken or not on an emotional level. But it seems like they still think that this kind of might be working, or there might be at least some sort of plans to give it a try. But again, the indecisiveness of the person may be on the way of it. So let's pick up some helping cards at this point for ourselves. So, okay, as we can see over here, the Hanged Man is another meaning of the Hanged Man. It's the situation might be quite stuck and not quite, not quite offering them to make the first step. It seems like they need to go through some sort of sacrifice, or something should be done before this relationship can work, or some actions have to be done by their side because of their own obligations and their own ongoing situation, not really quite related to you. In terms of the emotions, as I said earlier, the Wheel of the Fortune seems to be a very positive card, even in an upside down position. And here we can see the cups are clearly showing us that regardless of the situation, he still has this kind of sympathy, emotional sympathy towards you. And probably, again, if you give them a little bit more time, they might be deciding to make the steps towards you at some point and offer and just, help you to achieve your goal by making the first step towards you, I would say. And of course, the last card over here, as we can see, the Page of the Swords. And clearly this card showing us that there might be some sort of inner conflict and minor inner conflict in the situation about their intentions about, again, making the step or not. In a way, probably, again, there might have been some sort of miscommunication or kind of the lack of communication is going on. And because of this, the person might be so confused about what they should be doing in order to make the situation move. So now let's look at the advice card, and the advice card for this situation will be Four of the Cups. So I think it would be a good time for you to take the first step or take the initiative and show them that actually you're somehow interested, or you'd be interested in reconciliation if we're talking about the relationship of misunderstanding that happened between the couple. Or if it's somebody new, then you can just give them a sign that you might be still interested, even though there's not very big actions being taken by your side either. It's more like expectation from the other side to make the steps towards you. But you taking some expectations and just making the situation, making the ice move, can actually help you achieve what you want with this certain person. So I hope that this was helpful for you. This was reading for all of those who chose the amethyst stone, guys. Now we're moving on to the next stone, which is going to be the agate. Now, my friends, we're moving on to the next stack over here. For those of you who decided to go for the agate stone, or agate, sorry for my pronunciation, here we're going to be using this second pile for you and about your person, about their intentions, feelings, and thoughts about you. Let's go. So now let's shuffle the card, and meanwhile I would like to ask you to concentrate and focus on your beloved person, on the person that you're interested about, their thoughts, feelings, and intentions. So let's go. Now the first card will show us their thoughts about you. The second card will show us their feelings about you. The third card will show us their intentions about you. So, of course, as we can see over here, these cards are also upside down. So there might be a similar situation in terms of the lack of communication, or still some sort of a distance between two people. This might be a physical distance, or at the same time, this might be an emotional distance, or kind of people are trying to work things out together, but it's not very working out as they want. But one thing is that in this case, I believe that we could talk about more of a mature, more of a stable relationship. Or if you're already in the relationship with this person, it would be nice to try to talk to them in their own language. In terms of that, as we can see, the King of the Swords, not of the King of the Pentacles, and Page of the Pentacles. So here we are definitely dealing with more of a grounded energy rather than very, emotionally chaotic. So let's go with the first card, the King of the Swords. Well, the King of the Swords can tell us about the person who is quite stubborn in their own decisions, and sometimes this person can even be quite cold and show a lot of coldness, even though in their own intentions and their own feelings and thoughts, they may not be seeing this. Well, considering this card beginning with the King of the Swords in upside down position and the King of the Pentacles in upside down position, we can clearly say that probably there must be even some sort of narcissistic energy here. The person that you're thinking about might be quite narcissistic in their turn, and they might be having some sort of narcissistic intentions, and probably the focus in this relationship is usually on them, and that's what they like about it. So basically, if you give them enough attention, and if you just start like you're praising them all the time, you know, just telling them how good they are, this person is more likely going to stick around with you and be with you around. But as soon as you try to just be yourself and just ask for the same thing that you're offering to this person, they may not be or seem that to be interested, if to be honest, and they may just withdraw at some point from this relationship. Again, also the financial aspects of the situation in general is also very important for this person. But let's go back to the first card. The King of the Swords is clearly telling us the energy that the person, as I told you earlier, is quite stubborn, and because of their stubbornness, even if they want to make some sort of decision towards you, whether it's like kind of a friendly gesture, or maybe even you know, just confession, whatever it is, in their mind it's really hard for them to do, because in their thinking, making the first step might mean that they fail, or that you want in the situation, which is, again, I think that is quite a narcissistic trait to be in a person, whether it's a man or a female, regardless of the situation. So what this person actually, I would say, that suggests that the kind of tricky situation, tricky side of the situation with this pile is that the person is quite smart and they are very thoughtful. Even when it comes to emotions and relationships, they try to be very thoughtful, they try to be very tactical, you know, and they usually put themselves first and try to think about their needs and try to think about what they want from this relationship, and only later they might be thinking about the other side. So if you're willing to actually stick around to this energy, and if you're willing to just go for that, then this is something that you have to be aware of. When it comes to their feelings, King of the Pentacles in upside down position is clearly giving us the vibes that the emotion-wise, this person may not be very stable, and like, you know, they can be come and going into your life from time to time, appear and then disappear, giving you some sort of little hints that they might be interested in you, to make sure that you're still there, to make sure that you're still waiting for them, to make sure that you are still in their life. But when it comes to settling down, this person doesn't seem to be wanting to settle down, really. They like the attention, they like the praising, they like to be in the center of attention, and if it's about their friends or their acquaintances, not only you, or even the family members, this person just loves attention in general. And when it comes to their feelings towards you, it's like it's very unstable. You know, when they remember you, when they think about you, when you remind them of yourself, then they may seem to be very interested. But also this interest can be more expressed in a sexual attraction rather than in an emotional attraction, to be honest, because we're talking about the Earth sign, which is the representation of Pentacles. So, and the King in upside down position means that basically the energy is not quite enough so that to make this feeling stable, or to make this feelings really mature. So even though the person is trying their best to behave themselves mature, and they know exactly what to tell you, and they need you around to attract you back into their life, but it's more like a game, I would say, to me, than the reality. Because when it comes to their intentions, again, right here we see clearly that the person may or can have an opportunity to make the first step towards you, but they prefer not to do it, or to do it only when they are interested in seeing you. So the next auxiliary card, like helping cards that we're getting here, is like their guests. So basically this might be some sort of confirmation of the first card. So when it comes to their thoughts and you know, their rational side, so Two of the Swords, they're indecisive, or they kind of don't trust people, or don't trust anybody around them, because they feel like because their behavior is that way, so other people's behavior might be similar to that. So Two of the Swords is usually, they're kind of a little confused about their thoughts about you. They don't know where you stand. Do you stand in the category of friends? Do you stand in the category of lovers? Do you stand in the category of someone that he can spend that he or she can spend time with? Are you a relationship or a situationship, in other words to say? This is basically what their thoughts about this. So because of this, they cannot really understand what is it going on. They prefer to stay on the side and only show up into your life whenever they need to see you, depending on their triggers and on their vibes. So the next card, when it comes to the emotion vibes, the Highest Priestess. Definitely this person has some sort of deep connection with you, but they are trying to understand what connection is that. It's not like this energy is not quite enough to be love, but it's definitely more than just a friendship. So that's why I think that because of this, the indecisiveness keeps coming back into their life, and their behavior may seem quite narcissistic and indecisive because of this. Because again, we all know that in a healthy relationship, when the person keeps going and coming back, it's not quite a healthy relationship. It's more of a toxic relationship, and there might be the energy of toxicity, of course, in here, but I would say that it could be something more like a karmic relationship or a karmic test for you. So the next one right here is the confirmation of the last cards, which is the the Page of the Wands, right underneath the Page of the Pentacles, which is, again, the person has all the abilities to take the first step towards you, but they don't do this deliberately on purpose because they don't want to take any responsibility for any kind of situation, and they want it to come from you so that if something doesn't work out tomorrow, they can feel secured and they can feel safe. Yeah, it's quite a narcissistic energy, as we can see over here, but let's see what's the advice of the card. The Lovers. The Lovers is all about, it's not only about the emotional love, and maybe you really didn't fall in love with this person, or you're in process of falling in love with this person, but the cards, Lovers, really suggests us to make the right decision, to listen to our hearts and make the right decisions, but at the same time not ignoring our mind, because your person does not really ignore their mind. They actually think, and they're quite thoughtful about this relationship, as I told you, or situationship, whatever you're going through. So, and choosing the real love, or choosing the love to yourself, might be one of the best options that you could do over here, because I wouldn't want you to get hurt, of course. So I hope that this pile is quite obvious for you, my dears. Now we're moving on to the third skull crystal. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and of course, for those of you who decided to go for the third skull crystal, we're going to be doing the reading with this pile about your person. Let's go. So now I would like to ask you to concentrate on your loving person and concentrate on their thoughts and feelings and intentions towards you. Meanwhile, I'll be shuffling the cards for you. So, let's go. Now, let's see the thoughts of the pile number 3 towards you. First card. Second card. And the third card. So, two of the 3 cards are major arcanas, which is actually pretty much interesting cards, and I would say that it's somehow hopeful, I would say. So the first card in there, when it comes to the 7 of the Swords, the person might be actually avoiding some sort of confrontation with you because of something that has happened between you guys, if you're in a relationship, or something that you might have figured out, or, just that might have recently happened between you, and you might kind of think that the person was not honest with you, or there was not some sort of act of dishonesty going on, and that's why the person actually in here, their thoughts about you is like just trying to wait a little bit, maybe before, so like this emotional roller coaster is going to calm down, and then just show up in your life in order to have a conversation with you or to explain themselves at some point. Because this card is clearly telling us that the person has struggles also to trust other people. Whatever the person's been through, probably they've been through some sort of abusive relationship before you, or they've been going through some abusive relationship still on ongoing situation, and it can be also abusive family, or the really harsh moments of their past, because let's not forget that the 3 cards not only representing their feelings and thoughts and intentions, it's also past, present, and the future. We can also interpret this card this way. So the person is definitely thinking about being in a safe place for themselves, because they've seen a lot of like injustice in their life at some point, and they're afraid of being kind of maybe committed to one person, and that's why they having a hard time to give their commitment to anybody somehow. Well, the second card in here is representing their feelings and emotions, the Star. Even the Star card is one of the most positive cards of the Tarot deck, and specifically among the major arcana. Even in an upside down position, this card can show us a lot of good meaning. So what this card actually means that there's still a hope, even though this hope is kind of on hold. Again, there might have something happened between you guys, and because of this, the situation may seem like a little bit of a confused for you, but in their feelings, they're still hoping that the relationship will get better, that there will be having a chance to restore this trust, which is the third card is confirming this over here. And there might be a good hope in this relationship, actually, between you two, I would say. So there is still a hope that this thing can work out with you guys, but all you have to do is take some time and just try to learn to trust each other. And as you can see, the maiden is putting her hand into the Leo's mouth, and knowing that Leo knows that, the lion knows that the maiden is not going to hurt him. So, and the maiden is quite sure that the lion is not going to bite her. So this is the mutual trust between each other. So the person wants to trust you regardless of whatever the situation, and they don't seem to want to lose you, or they want to make these things work. But I think that some time would be very necessary here, and specifically if we're talking about such an important thing as a trust. So let's see the second cards in here. Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, the person definitely has some sort of feelings towards you, but whatever the situation that has happened between you lately might have just given some sort of crack in the relationship, I would say. Or they are thinking about starting a new relationship with you, or maybe giving it a chance, another chance, and they're willing to take the actually responsibility for their actions, for the things that had happened, and start taking literally very clear actions in the direction of making this all work. When it comes to their intentions, though, as we can see, the Hermit, that they definitely want to come out of their cave and start like investing in you and trusting you. But you also need to kind of show them some trust and have maybe some sort of serious conversation with them, and understand that their past might have been very difficult, and because of this, their behavior may not be quite let's say that peaceful or normal right now, but again, I think that the conversation and the right communication would really help you to sort the situation out. Specifically, they want to come out of their loneliness, come out of their introspection period, and make the first step towards you. And let's see what is the advice card. So the advice card is the Fool in upside down position. As well, usually the Fool is the first and zero arcana of the tarot card, talks about new beginnings. So what this card is telling us to do is, like, if you want to start a new beginning, don't make any reckless decision. Take your time, don't give in to your emotions, put the emotions on the side, and start to rationally analyze the situation and what your expectations are from this person and from this relationship, as this can help you to start the new beginning with this person from the scratch. But this time you should be wiser and smarter in order not to go through the same cycle and not to make the same situation happen again. So my guys, I hope that actually it was helpful for you, and I hope that this mini reading was able to answer your questions. Follow my Instagram page, which is 𝐴𝑁𝐺𝐸𝐿𝑂'𝑆 Spiritual Guide, and also I'm gonna leave all the links of my social media and my link tree, where you can actually book a personal session with me, where during the sessions actually we go through the readings and through different kind of readings depending on your request, and then if needed we use the intuitive life coaching techniques in order to improve the situation for you. So once again, I hope that it was helpful for you, and hope to see you soon again, guys, on my channel. Stay well.